Hello and welcome to Black and Sober, the podcast. The aim of our podcast is to connect with people from a drinking culture, especially those like us from the Black community who have chosen to go against the grain and enjoy life without alcohol.
We started this podcast because we struggled to find anyone from similar backgrounds willing to share their sober story. We encourage others to take the plunge as we have and share their experiences with us.
We would like to thank 12 Way Studios for allowing us to record our podcast here. They too believe in the cause and are willing to offer their support as we try to elevate our community and spread positivity.
Hi and welcome to another episode of Black and Sober. And today we've got a really exciting guest with us. Hi Barbara.
Hi Ricky.
Hi, Barbara.
Hi. I got three reallys. Three really exciting. I'm excited.
It is. Because I think a couple of months ago when we first launched our Instagram, I think I woke up one morning and I think that you had added me or I had added you, and there was messages and likes and stuff, and I was like, we've got a sober friends that like kind of looks similar to us. And we're just like, I was like, Ricky, look what I've got.
Oh, that's good.
So it was nice to connect, and that you were British as well, so we've got like that extra connection as well.
Yeah, that does make a bit of a difference, doesn't it? Because there are a lot of people who look like us that are American in the sober world, but there are not so many Brits out there at the moment on Instagram anyway. Yeah.
So it was really nice to connect. So we just get into it. So the first question we'll ask you is, what was drinking to you growing up? What was alcohol to you growing up?
Yeah, I didn't really think, I didn't know what alcohol was, if you know what I mean, growing up, most of my childhood anyway. I can look back on it now and see that at Christmas times, I grew up in first generation Jamaican, born in this country. So when we grew up, every Black person knew each other. We were either related or we knew each other. So there'd be Christmas gatherings, birthday gatherings. Our house was quite a gathering house, if you know what I mean. But my dad would drink more than my mum, but it was really at those party times, not all the time, if you know what I mean. Yeah, it was like a celebration thing. I don't seem to remember like drunk, getting out of hand kind of drinking. My mum would have the odd cherry brandy or baby sham at Christmas. My mum wasn't she's not a drinker. She wasn't a drinker. And I can remember, so I'm one of 5 girls and I'm the 4th one. So I can
wow.
Yeah. So I can remember my sisters going out and coming home and thinking, I can't wait to go out, going out the weekends or school. We went to school discos, but we didn't drink at the school discos. Me and my group of friends, we used to go to a pub and drink Cokes. There was school discos. There were discos on a Friday night, and we'd go to the pub and drink Coke. I think we might have had like a Malibu and pineapple juice. That's what but not get drunk.
Not too heavy.
No, not drunk. I must remember this actually. The first time I got drunk, I was 14, and I think that put me off. I mean, I got really drunk. My dad had to come and pick me up. And that was like a one-off. I mean, I was 14. That's quite young, really. Blackout drunk. That was blackout drunk because I don't remember. I remember waking up. People were telling. Well, must be my dad and my sister. I was throwing up and
Yeah. So
that
put you off for a couple of years.
That put me off. Yeah. And then we used to go to under 18s. We didn't drink then. We didn't drink under 18 discos and stuff like that. We weren't really drinking. But growing up, as in like in my family household, it wasn't really a thing, if you know what I mean. It was more of a Christmas celebratory, not a regular drink. My mum used to buy drinks for Christmas throughout the year and put them underneath the stairs cupboard. That side,
so you stay there.
Yeah, and they'd stay there. Yeah, exactly. Yeah.
Okay. And then so how did drinking progressed into your adult life? Or
Yeah,
how did it start for you then?
so I was more of a raver. So alcohol was not my drug of choice when I was going out raving. And it really started when I think Sex and the City has a lot to do with my drinking. I used to have Sex and the City
Cosmopolitans.
Yeah, Cosmopolitan. So we'd either go around my house or one of the group of the girls on whatever night it was on. I think it was on a Wednesday night, and have lots of Cosmopolitans or wine, rosé or white wine. And then it gradually then it was going out for dinner and then having a glass of wine with dinner and then having more glass of wine. But then I was going out more as well. So when I was out clubbing, drinking wasn't a priority. It wasn't, I wanted to dance all night. So I was dancing. It wasn't like going to the bar wasn't, a priority. And then I think I was 30s, more in my, sort of mid-30s, I started to drink at home a lot more.
Yeah.
Not go out as much.
What was the reason for that, Barbara, if you don't mind me asking?
Say that again, sorry?
What was the reason for that? When you started to drink at home and rather than going out?
I think it was just a bit of a cycle rather than like not getting bored of that going out or I changed. I don't know, actually. It's a good question. I don't know when. I think I'm just trying to think of so I was married. This is my second marriage I'm in now. So my first marriage, we used to go out quite a lot. I don't know. I don't know. It did become.
You stopped going out and you just became a homebody, you know.
More drinking at home and I don't really know the reason why that happened. I know one of the so I was working at the time and I can remember going out on Fridays after work and going out and then going home and not really going out at night time, straight from work home and then not going out at night because I drank too much. I wouldn't be going out. I remember doing that a few times, but I don't really know the actual reason why I stopped going out so much and started maybe I just wanted to stay home and drink. I don't know.
I can kind of relate to that. Well, for us, it was like having kids. We couldn't go out anymore, so we were just like that. We started to drink at home, and it was our way to relax and sort of enjoy our time.
I heard you. So I had my daughter when I was 17. So I didn't do the I was 17 when I had her, and then when I was going out, I had lots of family around to help out so I didn't drink around her. It was really only when she became older, so I'd just say she was 16, 17, so that would make me 34, 35.
Wow, you just look so young. My mum had me when she was 18, so we've kind of grown up together.
Exactly, that's how we see it, that we've kind of grown up together. And so I would really try not to be drunk in front of her. I know she didn't like it. I was trying not to drink around her or get drunk around her. Definitely.
Okay, and then so how did it sort of come to an end? When did you decide, like, no, I can't do this no more? Or was there a moment, or did it just?
There wasn't really a moment. I think when I look back on my drinking, when I look back on the day, or when I've been sober for a while, when I look back on it, I think it was about, I'd say 5 years before I actually gave up, when I was thinking about I'm drinking too much. I'm drinking too much.
It was over 5 years. You was like, I'm drinking too much, but you continued over the 5 years.
I'd say it was 5 years. I think I would never have. I've listened to your podcast, Alicia, when you were saying you'd get excited about going out if you were going to have a drink, and you'd always want to go out to have a drink. I was a bit like that. If
I'd kind of save up, like during the week, I'd be like, right, I'm gonna be stressed today, but no, 2 more days and I'm gonna be out there having a drink and just totally relaxing. Well, that's what I thought I was doing, but
Yeah.
yeah.
Yeah, and
Yeah.
and for me, I'd like be like, I try to moderate. So I do put all these different caveats in and say, right, don't drink on a Tuesday unless you're wearing green. Don't,
Yeah.
I stopped drinking wine. I drink champagne for a little while. I did that, just drink champagne. It's more expensive. I won't drink as much. Then I thought,
Yeah, yeah, I
then
like it. I like it.
Then Prosecco, that's cheaper, so I can drink
Yeah,
more. It's a
yeah,
smaller glass, it's less percent alcohol. Loads of different things. But then I think it was never one drink either. So I would always drink to get drunk, really. Even if I went somewhere and I was driving, I would make sure I had drink at home. I mean, this sounds a bit, I mean, not all the time, but most of the time, if I went out and I was driving, I would make sure that I had drink at home to have a drink when I got in.
Oh yeah, we used to do that.
Yeah.
Well, definitely you, but I did as well.
Yeah.
I would always be like, no, girls, I'm not drinking tonight. Acting all sophisticated, like, I've got this moderation under control, but then I'll be like, right, I'm gonna get home, have a couple of glasses of my Ray, and yeah, go to sleep.
Yeah, I was
Yeah.
the same, Barbara. I would actually, if I was driving, I would leave the function early to get home, just so I could drink, When
Yeah.
I'm talking hours early. I showed my face. I can't drink because I'm driving. It's time for me to go because I want to get home and start
Yeah,
Yeah.
drinking. I come
Yeah.
when I sleep. Yeah,
Yeah. And it's not until you're out, well, for me, it's not until I was out of that when I actually look back and think, can't believe I did that. Why would all those things that you do to try and have a drink,
yeah,
really. You're like you saying you leave somewhere early, when really you're missing out on that evening, aren't you? Even,
exactly. Just to sit
yeah.
at home by myself and drink. Yeah,
yeah, yeah. Yeah, there's lots of the whole moderation thing, waking up on I don't know, Monday morning thinking, oh, I'm not going to do that again, and then Monday night I'm drinking again.
yeah,
Yeah, we used to get to like Wednesday and you'd be like, it's Champions League night,
yeah.
football's on.
Yeah.
We have to drink. So
Yeah,
I was like, okay, we'll have a drink.
yeah,
Yeah.
And then it's like the next day, Thursday. Oh, it's Friday tomorrow, so we might as well just continue. And then it was,
yeah. And the week
yeah,
gets shorter and shorter and shorter, and so
yeah,
together, and then you end. I mean, at the end of my drinking, I was drinking every night. It
yeah,
wasn't,
Yeah.
and it was a bottle of wine. Oh, maybe I haven't got, not maybe, it was probably I haven't got enough. So I'd walk to the shop, get another one. I sometimes had been to the shop, I didn't even know I'd been to the shop when I woke up in the morning, you know.
really, yeah,
Yeah,
yeah.
yeah.
So was you in a relationship at this point, Barbara, when you was sort of going to the shop and getting vegetables and all that?
Yeah, yeah.
And
I was
how did your partner feel about that? Would your partner drink with you, or would you drink on your own and your partners around, or how
yeah,
did that make you?
yeah. We drank together. I'm still with Alan, so we're still married. It makes it sound like we were on the brink of breaking up. We weren't on the brink of breaking up, but yeah, we would drink. I mean, when we met, we drank together. It was well, he lived in Sheffield, or lives in Sheffield. I lived in Cambridge. So when we got together, it was like us being on holiday when we got together, because he was either away from home or I was away from home. So we had this
Yeah.
long distance relationship for a year and a half. And that was just what we did. I mean, we had, not saying that it wasn't a good time, we had lots of good times when we were both drinking. But yeah, I would just take it that step a
That
little bit
little bit
too
more.
far. Yeah.
Yeah.
Yeah, and even that, like you say, going to the shop, I'd go in it would be dark, and I'd want to walk to the shop, and he'd be like, get his clothes and his jacket on and come with me and stuff. But
Yeah.
I've done it on my own before. I think he'd say he didn't want me to go on my own, thinking that I wouldn't go on my own, so he wouldn't come with me. Do you know what I mean? So
Yeah, but you're right.
not telling me not to go, but I'm a force unto my own when I when I've been
Oh
drinking.
yeah, I can really relate to that. I'm very similar. But I was just about to say that I used to go that overboard with my drinking. Well, I used to think I was going overboard more than Ricky, but Ricky would actually be able to drink, and being a man, a lot more than me. But my behaviour was a lot more noticeable than his. So when I was going overboard, I was acting silly. He was way more drunk than me, but like able to firm it all. But yeah, I would always just be that bit more silly, bit more hyped up, and just
Yeah.
basically. Because
Yeah.
I think, like, for me as a mum, I had to like have everything organised for kids in the week, and like working as a working mum, so it was full on. So as soon as I got that time to relax, have a drink, it was like, I'm just going to be silly and just like not have any responsibility right now, and just let it loose.
Yeah.
Yeah. When I listened to your podcast, and you said that when now you're sober, it's almost like you are drunk because you are a fun person anyway.
Yeah,
I really related to that when you said that, because I
Did
feel
you?
like,
Yeah.
I really did. One of the first times I was out, it was after lockdown. I've been sober for about, I think it was only a few months, 3 or 4 months. And I went to a friend's. There was only a few of us because it was just after lockdown. And my friend said to me, "Oh, I thought you'd be really different now you're sober." But because I don't know, excitable, I think, being around people as well.
Yeah.
Yeah. So
I think, sorry, I think my mum sometimes looks at me and sort of thinks like, "You drunk?" Or like, she knows I'm not drinking. Like, 'cause she's like, "Oh, okay, I'm dancing and that, and I'm sober and
yeah,
still able to just enjoy myself," like you say.
yeah.
Like,
Have you
Yeah,
been
you
out
haven't
sober? Sorry, Ricky.
I was just saying, yeah, at least it hasn't changed. It hasn't changed from sort of when you can't really tell the difference. The only difference is no blackouts, I guess. But
no blackouts. So yeah, but I'm controlled.
yeah, yeah,
Controlled fun.
yeah,
Yeah, not falling asleep on the train.
Exactly. Yeah, exactly. Sorry, what was it? Was you going to say something, Barbara? I cut you. Sorry.
No, I can't remember if I was. I can't remember. Sorry.
Yeah. So, did you become sober before or after lockdown? You just mentioned that.
Yeah, it was towards the end. So it was February 21.
Okay.
It was towards the end of like the second
That second lockdown, that
Yeah.
cold lockdown. Yeah.
Yeah, and it was after what was it? The essential shopping and the shops, the essential shopping. So you were supposed to not go to the shop for booze. So just as that announcement was made, straight to the shop. We bought loads and loads of alcohol. I mean, I've got a picture of all stocked up on the bar. It didn't last very long. I can yeah. So yeah, it was just after the main lockdown happened. Yeah,
so you've been sober since February 21.
Yeah, February 21.
Wow, well done.
Yeah.
Thank you.
Congratulations.
Why did you decide to stop drinking, Barbara?
Yeah,
What
so
happened? Or what was your thought?
there was loads of so lockdown, there was loads of we had quite a few Zoom like what we're doing now, but we'd have quizzes and get
Yeah,
together.
we did that. Yeah.
Yeah.
I mean, I've fallen off the stool talking to people drunk. But that's I mean, they're all these I call them pebble bottoms, not the rock bottoms, but the pebble bottoms.
Oh, I like that. That's a good way of putting it.
Lots of little small things that have happened.
Yeah.
That were embarrassing, and like you mentioned anxiety in your podcast. So I didn't realize what that was. It was like you'd done something, said something, and felt anxious that someone's going to say something and remind you of what you did when you were drunk, and it's like just shut up, forget about it.
Yeah. Why would you like have to remind me?
Yeah. So it was so the 6th of February, the day before I gave up, it was lockdown day, and it was raining. Or was that a Sunday? I can't remember what day it was. Yeah, it was Saturday, Sunday, but it was absolutely pissing it down with rain. And I started drinking at about 11 o'clock. And I seem to remember saying I'm not going to, I used to do it quite a few times, thinking to myself, right, I'm not going to black out, and we'll try and remember the rest of the day. And oh, that's right. So I was drinking, and I remember Alan he was hiding alcohol from me. I was trying to find it. yeah, so that was my, yeah, I thought, no, I need to, I mean, there was lots of, like I mentioned, lots of moments before that, and subsequent to that, me actually stopping the next day, I had done I tried to do dry January, and started on the 4th of January and stopped on the 10th. You know, I did
Yeah.
6 days or something like that.
Mm.
And then also I done, I didn't do dry, what was it? Sober October.
October, yeah.
Yeah,
Yeah.
I did a November, just
Okay.
being rebellious like I am
Mm.
sometimes.
Yeah.
And I did it for charity. So,
Okay.
yeah, because I would not have been able to do it otherwise. So all these things that were happening in my subconscious, telling me, you know, I think you need to give up alcohol. I'm not even
Mhm.
thinking that you know, these things are happening. So that month I did do it, and I raised some
Did
money.
you feel better for it in that month?
I did.
Mm.
And I knew I did because I carried on for 7 weeks. So another 3 weeks after that, I still
wow,
didn't
okay.
drink. But I hadn't done any of the podcasting, or what I call the work, you know, actually digging into not the reasons why I was drinking, but more about not drinking and appreciating what's happening now you're not drinking. You know, appreciating. I mean, I used to go out in the mornings and walk anyway, but I didn't used to appreciate that what I was getting out walking and enjoying the sunshine and the birds or the rain even, you know, change of seasons. You just don't appreciate anything like that. It's just like, just get out and go for a walk. But yeah, things are different when
Oh yeah, I
you're,
saw your lovely pictures today of your walk.
oh, I love
That looks
going.
nice.
My favorite
Yeah.
place. I love it. It's just literally around the corner. It's not far from me. It's 2 lakes. That it's about 3 miles round, and there's ducks and just
Oh,
people milling about. It's beautiful. Yeah, really nice.
lovely.
So how did you find it, Barbara, in People Up? How was it easy for you? What tools did you use?
Yeah, it was, no, it wasn't easy. I was adamant though. I was adamant. This time I was adamant. And I had been listening to a podcast. I listened to true crime podcasts, so that's what I was listening to on my walk in the morning before I gave up drinking. And then I was thinking, right, there must be a podcast, a sober podcast.
Yeah.
And so that's when I found Be Sober. You heard of Be Sober?
I haven't, but when I was listening to your podcast with Dupe, I heard you talking about it then, and I thought I've got to look this one up. So I will look this one up and have a listen to it as well.
Yeah, Be Sober. So they are Lisa and Alex. They're Manchester based,
Okay.
and for me they made being sober sound like fun. So I listened to their podcast a lot, and then I phoned them and asked. Well, we had a chat and everything, and I became a Be Sober ambassador for the Sheffield and Rotherham area. So yeah, so
Oh,
I
that's
put
so
on events for sober or sober curious people around this area. And there's lots of ambassadors all over the country, so we you know, do that. So
what sort of events will you do then?
um, walks, dinners.
Oh,
We've
nice.
done weekends away. Done a couple of weeks sober by the sea. Be Sober by the Sea. We've done those
Do
before.
you have a good turnout? Do you have lots of people turning up for those events?
We have in the group for this area. There's about 25 of us, so we're kind of in and out,
Oh,
dipping in and
wow.
out.
Yeah.
But in the whole Be Sober, I don't know how many people go to. I mean, they're Manchester based, but they're all over the country.
Okay, I will definitely look that
Yeah,
up.
yeah, have a look. So no, I didn't find it easy. And the tools that I use, I think mainly, I think getting away from sitting in front of the TV was I think the biggest tool for me, moving away from what I was doing. So I would read quickly. I know you read Claire Pooley's book, didn't you?
Oh, yes. Did you read it as well?
I read that
Oh,
one.
that's really
And
good.
Catherine Gray's Unexpected Joy of Being Sober.
Oh, yeah, that was brilliant.
Yeah. Alcohol Explained 1 and 2. I read quite a few quick lit books, and dived into Instagram, you know, watching people's progress and tools that, you know, they'd used. Yeah, walking quite a lot. I wanted something to do in the evening, or a evening, something different, and I've always been interested in meditation. So I went to the local Buddhist center and did a 12-week course on introductory to meditation and Buddhism. And that was good. So
Okay.
to get me away from my desk, oh, not my desk, I'm sat at my desk, sorry. To get me away from my sitting in front of on the sofa in front of the TV. So I'd go, so it'd like stretch it the evening out. So finish work 5, 6 o'clock, have my dinner, 8 o'clock, be at the other side of town, 8,
Yeah.
9, 10. By the 10 o'clock, I'd come home. So, you know, that do something
That-
for the evening.
Yeah.
Yeah. I know you mentioned, Alicia, about being like catching up on your sleeps, being yeah. So I
That
would
has
go,
been like a massive thing for me.
I bet with 3 children as well, I bet you've noticed a difference massively, don't you?
Massively, yeah. I mean, like this week has been like, kind of regress, but that's just like been life stresses going on this week. But definitely, what it has been sort of a hindrance to that is Ricky decided to put one of those sticks, the TV. He decided to put a TV in our room. We've never had a TV in our room. We thought, oh, let's give myself a little treat now. And now we're addicted to watching the TV before bed, and that's really been not great for us. So we've now said that that's our new addiction. So we've now said after Christmas, January, we're going to remove the TV from the bedroom. So that does not help with sleep, and that's kind of made us go backwards.
Oh, okay, yeah. And I think there's also whenever everyone says this happens to you when you're sober, that happens to you. It doesn't always happen to everybody, you know. So the sleep thing isn't like, I mean, it happened to me. I go to bed loads earlier than what I would, and then get up a little bit earlier. But the sleep quality is so much better.
So much better. You can really feel it.
Yeah. At the moment, I'm like, oh, 7 o'clock, don't want to get out of bed. I don't. It's so cold at the moment, so yeah, I'm not really getting up early at the moment, but still having a good quality sleep, so it's fine.
Yeah, no, that's great. Yeah, talking about not everybody has that sleep, like it has a sleep benefit straight away, or when we got it, because I've spoken to a few people and they're like, no, my sleep's really bad. Like that's not helped me. So there are a few out there that are not there with their sleep, but
when I first thinking, sleep, I couldn't get to sleep. I'd lay awake for sort of sometimes hours just thinking, and like when I was drinking, I wouldn't knock out, but as soon as my head would hit the pillow, I'd fall asleep. Yeah, I just knock out. So but at the time, I'd say after maybe the first sort of 4 to 6 weeks, oh my gosh, my sleep was amazing. I didn't know I could sleep like that. And you know what's really funny, Barbara, as well, I actually started to dream. And I hadn't had a dream in years. So when I could remember, so now, so sometimes it was like, oh, I look forward to going to sleep. I wonder what I'm going to dream about tonight.
Yeah, you know, when you said that, that just gave me goosebumps, because people think that else. You might think, oh, just do dry January, but if they're not feeling the benefit of the sleep in 4 weeks, like you said, 6 weeks, it just takes a little bit longer to actually feel that benefit. So that gave me big goosebumps. That did.
You've got to give it time. Like I've got some friends that sort of, well, I haven't drank for sort of 3 or 4 weeks, and I ask them, how do you feel? So when they different, still feel sluggish, still to drinking. But these things take time, to really appreciate what these things feels like.
Yeah, definitely. I think it does take time, and as time goes on, I've noticed different things that are better. You know, there's nothing is getting worse. Everything is getting better.
That is so true. Yeah.
And I just look at everything as being positive. Whereas before, it was sort of always negative. But if I could make it negative, it would certainly end up being negative. But you can't see negative and negative, but I try to make a positive out of it. I'm just trying to turn every frown upside down just trying to stay positive. Trying to make everything positive, really.
Yeah, it's just like alcohol. I've always said that I'm a positive, optimistic person, but even look, I mean, at the time, I really didn't think that I used to get hangovers. And looking back, like I said, I used to get up early and still go for a walk. But looking back, it was just like walking around in a haze the whole time.
Yes,
It
yes.
really was.
Yeah,
Yeah.
because I thought I was moderated, and my limit was 2 double Ray and Nephews with
Ah,
tonic water. That was my limit for the night.
Yeah.
If I wanted to wake up early and function. But when I did wake up, I was still like, right, I need a coffee straight away. My head still felt fuzzy. I thought that I wasn't having a hangover because I thought I'm not getting sick. I'm not having a headache. Still, I was still hazy, which is like, yeah, it was really a
Yeah.
hazy feeling that I've
yeah.
anymore that I thought, oh, hangover, but no, that is a hangover still.
Yeah. I never threw up apart from that time when I was 14. I very rarely threw up in my drinking career, if you like. It wasn't.
Yeah,
Yeah, it wasn't a.
lucky you.
No, yeah, no, well, yeah. It maybe if I did, I might have given up a little bit. I don't know.
Well, I don't know. I've thrown up so many times. I like didn't.
No, yeah, you're probably right. I probably wouldn't have done. Yeah, so no, it's not easy, but you have to do. I would just say you can't just. I don't think you can sit or do the same things as what you do when you're drinking. You have to change things, and that makes it easier.
Yeah. So it's just going back to your meditation, Barbara, would you say you sort of found just to occupy your time, or what made you want to keep the meditation, go down the meditation route?
Yeah, I mean, I don't meditate any longer.
You just
I
didn't know?
did no, but in that 12 weeks, I did do it probably for a month or two afterwards.
Mhm.
It wasn't. Do you know what I do like? I do like group meditation. I mean, I haven't done
Okay.
that for ages, but the group meditation for me is easier than on my own. I still become a little bit just. I haven't tried it for a while actually. Maybe I wouldn't be as distracted now as what I was in those early days. Yeah, but I don't occupy time now with meditation. But in the beginning, when I first went to the Buddhist and meditation, I enjoyed going there for the group meditation. Um, yeah,
I
yeah,
want to do something like that. I think I need to do something like that because
I wanted to get back to it. It sounds interesting.
with me now, my feelings are very raw now, and I didn't realise how much I used alcohol to numb feelings. There was times where I'd be like, no, I feel down, so I'm not going to drink because I didn't want that to be a habit where I felt down and kind of had that cycle of always drinking when feeling down because I knew that was wrong, and I kind of seen my dad do it. But what I would do if I felt, I don't know, let's say I had a hard day on Monday, Tuesday, Wednesday, and I was feeling really down, I'd be like, right, Saturday was my night where I'm going to drink, and I've got that to look forward to. So then, rather than like deal with all the, I don't know, stress that I had that week, I would then go and drink and then release, well, sort of releasing those stresses. And then I might sometimes become emotional because I've had that hard week, or, while I'm drinking, or I'll just carry on drinking, thinking, no, everything's better now. Yeah, we'll have a conversation, and no, everything is fine, it's fine. So now I don't have that. I'm like, I need something to keep me calm because when I first stopped drinking, my emotions were very high.
Yeah, the emotion.
I
Well,
was very emotional, and like someone could say something, and I would almost snap because I'm like, I didn't have that drink to where I'd be drinking, I'd be happy.
Mm.
I didn't have that. So now I'm like trying to like balance my own emotions and trying to be calm in a moment. When things aren't going right, I am trying, and it is working better than when I was drinking. But I just need that. I think I need that little bit more something.
Yeah.
I've definitely seen a change in the way you deal with
That I
it.
really,
For the better,
yeah, yeah.
for the better. Yeah,
Oh,
not
excellent.
from when you was your emotions from when you was drinking, when you first stopped drinking to how
And
you are now,
yeah.
includes the way you have your emotions. Which I'm proud of you for that actually.
Oh,
Thank
oh, did you give up drinking together at the same time?
Well, Ricky started drinking maybe 3 weeks before me, and he was
That's
going
right.
to classes. And then he was coming to the story. So like I would literally wait for him to come in. I'd be like, what happened this week? You know.
Yeah.
And then so when I started to listen to, I think one time he said that there was a lady there that stopped drinking because her husband did, and then she continued to go to AA classes, but she didn't actually have a problem.
Mm.
So I was thinking, oh, I could do that. I could join you on this journey, and it would help me because it would help me feel confident in the long run to not drink and not rely on alcohol. But then also it would help him to not drink for longer. Like I thought we could do this together. So that's when I thought, yeah. So he's about 3 weeks before me, and we still count it. My week, we still count it as my week.
Yeah.
That was 3 weeks later.
We just wrap up on 3 weeks. But I think, to be honest, I think that sort of helps me though, because me not being able to drink, even though you wasn't drinking a lot when I first stopped drinking, you have the odd glass here and there, and it would give me such a wonderful feeling, a boost of confidence that she can drink and I'm able to not drink. That 3 weeks, although it was difficult, but it made me know I can do this if I really put my mind to it. And obviously, with the help of everything else, sort of my classes and stuff like that, it was a great sense of achievement that. And then when she joined in with me, when she joined the journey with me, there was just no turning back. We were in it together. We were supporting each other. We sharing the journey with someone was so much more, not easier, but so much more worth doing, if that makes sense.
Yeah. Do you know, I never thought of it like that when you said, even though Alicia was drinking those first 3 weeks, that sense of achievement that you can do it, even though Alicia was drinking, because my husband still drank, not so much in the week, but at the weekends when in the early days, because we didn't have any white wine, and Prosecco was my spirit, so we didn't have any of that in the house. But even the smell of it, he just kept it away. But it was very low key when he was drinking. It was like out of my way kind of thing. But yeah, it is a sense of achievement that it's there, but you're not having it. So yeah.
Even to this day, like there's a bottle of my favorite drink, what I used to drink, Jack Daniels. It's just in the cupboard, and and knowing it's there, and I don't even encourage to go to it. It's still just when anyone comes around and sort of they want to have a drink or whatever, they can help themselves. But knowing that it's there and I can open the cupboard and see it and literally look straight past it and close back the cupboard without like I say, an urge. Again, that is a great sense of achievement as well. And I think even if we weren't around drinkers or people did come over and not want to drink, I'd still have it in there just to remind myself, I can do this sort of thing.
Yeah, I never thought of it like that before. Yeah, that's really good.
Yeah.
So, was there anything else that you did to continue to not drink? Like you said that you were with the Be Sober, you're a Be Sober ambassador.
Yeah.
Like, so now where are you in your journey with all of that and now?
Yeah, still ambassadoring. We went out on Thursday night actually, for dinner. So it's somebody's in the group, it was their 3-year soberversary. So we still go on, it wasn't a Be Sober event, it was more about celebration rather than a Be Sober event. What else do I do? Have you heard of the Dry app?
I've heard people mention it, but I haven't really looked into it. What is that? Do you want to tell us a bit about that?
So the Dry app, so it's DRYY app, was started about a year ago, last September that started, and it's Andy Ramage, Matt Pink, and Crystal Day. So they started the app, and they asked me to be a life member. So I am a life member in the Dry app, and that I did do a few lives in there and just go in and just posting. It's a bit like an Instagram, but in the app.
Okay.
And I am doing I have done a sober coaching course.
Okay, wow.
I did the Be Sober one, and I'm now doing a coaching in I forget the name of it. I must get it right. It's coaching in diploma in coaching and positive psychology, and also the alcohol-free segment of that as well. So I'll be qualified from that in December. So I've got another month to go. Yeah, so it's
Wow.
kind of, finishing, not drinking alcohol, headspace. What am I going to do now? So that's
Yeah.
what it's given me to do. I don't, if I was still drinking, I wouldn't even think to do, obviously, I wouldn't think to do a sobriety coaching course, but
Yeah.
thinking about going back and doing some studying, I'm just feeling the radiators just come on.
Oh,
Yeah, just having the headspace to even think of sitting here at my desk all day Saturday, all day Sunday studying. I would never do
Wow.
that if I was drinking. Yeah, loads of things have happened. It's amazing things that I noticed that you put on Instagram today about Snowdon. You climbed, walked.
Oh,
Well,
yes.
you've done lots of different. But when I did Snowdon not drunk, I was hungover. It was a completely different experience doing it sober. The
Yeah.
appreciation that you're, at the top of this mountain and the scenery. I love scenery.
Yeah, it's beautiful there, isn't it?
Literally in the clouds. Yeah.
Mm.
Yeah, beautiful. Yeah, so loads of things are going on and happening, and I love being sober. I love it.
So do we.
I love it.
That was such passion.
Barbara, can you sort of say what your Instagram handle is, and can you explain it? Because I've already heard how you explained on your previous podcast with Dupe. Can you explain it for Ricky, because he doesn't know about that? Because I thought it's really lovely.
Please.
You didn't listen to my podcast, Ricky?
Not yet.
I'm only joking.
Hard to try and get him to actually listen to a podcast. His attention span is not great.
Yeah, thanks.
So it's great for podcast, but it's great that he's doing this now.
Yeah. It is sober in colour, sober_in_colour, spelt the proper way, COLOUR. And yeah, I thought, obviously I am a Black woman, a woman of colour, so that helped with the handle. But it's a bit like being in Wizard of Oz, when it starts off in black and white and it is then Technicolor. That's how I feel being sober is like, your eyes are open and everything's in colour. Yeah.
When I listened to that, I was like, oh my gosh, when I think about that, like, my life was very different before now. You feel like it's come to life.
Yeah, it really has.
Yeah,
I agree.
no, thank you for sharing that. That's just lovely.
My sort of version of, let's say, version of that, Barbara, is when I was drinking, I was just seeing straight. But now that I'm not drinking, I'm seeing that
peripheral. Yeah.
My vision just widened completely.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. Yeah, I've heard people say that their bandwidth is just so much wider now. Yeah, so like you're like this, and then it's. Ooh.
Yeah, exactly.
Yeah.
She wanted to mention, Barbara, before we sort of wrap this up.
Actually, I mean, I have been thinking about this for a long time, and I know you don't know this. We haven't spoken about this before the podcast. So I am going to start a community next year of sober Black women.
Love it.
Yes. I mean, there's loads of different communities out there, like Be Sober, and anybody can join them. So Be Sober, like the Dry Out. There's all these different sober communities, and that there are sober Black girl. I think that's American. Anyone can join, isn't it? Yeah. If you're a Black woman, but there isn't one especially for Brits that I know of, anyway. Yeah. So I'm going to start a sober in colour community for Black women next year. I absolutely love that. Give me a shout, because I'm there. And yeah, that was like, obviously for us, the reason why we started this. We could not find any podcasts or anything out there for Black British people speaking about sobriety, especially Black men. I've actually met a Black man in the UK. You've been doing this for longer than us, unless you know any that's on Instagram. But we've not come across any. There's obviously who we've interviewed a couple, but like apart from that, I'll have to. So there's a guy who's got a bar in Derby.
Okay.
And I forget his name now. I know it begins with R, so forgive me for that. And the bar is called Yada,
Okay. I'm gonna write that down.
YADA. And that's in Derby. So yeah, that's run by forgotten his name. Sorry, Rasanda, something like that. I'll
Okay.
find it and I'll let you know afterwards.
Yeah.
But yeah, there aren't. I mean, I know a few women, Black women, mainly through Instagram, but I don't know. I mean, I'm thinking more because I don't see them on Instagram. Why?
Yes.
I mean, I'm sure there are.
Yeah, there probably is, like, if you go
Yeah.
to, I don't know, some meetings
Mhm.
or meetups, I'm sure there is as well, but
Yeah.
Online is hard.
well, we're just creating that representation, and hopefully more Black men come out and share their stories. So
Yeah.
yeah, that is
Why do you
great.
think that is? Do you think? Why do you think that there's not so visible? Do you have a thought around it?
I don't know. Could it be ego?
Well,
Um,
we did say, like, maybe, like, for Black people, it can, within our community, it's not really a thing where you sort of discuss openly about mental health or your issues. You're always told to, like, keep things private. So I think, like, with Black men, especially, it was sort of like, oh, I don't want to admit to, like, having an issue, and I think that a lot of them, like, just keep things quite private and close their chest. But now I think there's a lot of things, even on what was that program that we watched a couple of months ago, Black Men
Can
Can Cry, just things like that. Now you're seeing more Black men talking up about
Yeah.
their struggles, and that it's not a case that Black men don't suffer. They do, but they just have been suffering for a long time in silence.
Yeah.
So
Speaking from obviously my experience as a Black man, at first I didn't think I had a problem. So the first thing for me was, yeah, okay, admitting that I had a problem. And even when I did, when I admitted to myself, and when I first stopped drinking, I thought to myself, I'm not going to tell anyone about this. Not many people, no one knew that I had a problem apart from Alicia. Why does anyone need to know? I'll just keep it to myself. Then for me, that was sort of an ego thing. I don't want people knowing that I had a problem. What would they think of me? But then, as my sober journey sort of carried on, and Alicia mentioned, which shall we start a podcast? I didn't even have to think twice. I said, yeah, let's do it. So I think maybe for Black men, first thing to do is sort of admitting that you have a problem and get help. There's help you can get from people, as you say, different platforms, Instagram, podcast. Yeah, once you found that help and you've got the support function, it's so much easier to sort of be willing to share. So that's what I found for myself anyway. And I enjoy speaking about it now. I enjoy it,
we've got a lot more confidence talking about it.
yeah, I love having a conversation with someone about not drinking and being sober, and how my life was before while I was drinking, and how my life is sort of completely done a 360 since I stopped drinking. I love speaking about it now. So
I think
yeah.
speaking about it as well, for us here speaking about it now, somebody else might see this who look like us and think, I'm not the only one, because I used to think that everyone drank anyway. I never used to think I was the only one, but
I mean, if we do 1,000 podcasts or 1,000 interviews and it helps one person, that's good enough for me.
Oh yeah.
So,
Same here.
yeah.
Oh, well, thank you, Barbara. And we've also, as well as looking similar, we've got
I'm sorry, I missed that. I couldn't hear.
Yeah.
we've all got the same surname. Like, what a coincidence!
We have. We're all Williamses.
Yeah. Yeah. Well, thank you so much, Barbara.
Oh, it's really great to
Enjoyed
meet you both. Good luck with your podcast. I think it's fantastic what you're doing, by the way. So keep going. Good luck with it.
Thank you, and good luck with everything you're doing. And hopefully one day we'll be able to, like, meet up soon and just do, like, an all sober event.
Yeah, definitely. 2024. Yeah. Lovely talking to you both.
Thank you for listening. If you would like to share your sober journey with us, please send us a DM via our Instagram page
at Black Sober Pod.
We would really love to hear from you.
Take care and stay tuned.